America's wild horses. Congress declared them living symbols of the historic and pioneer spirit of the West. But for decades, they have been at the heart of a bitter struggle over the use of public lands. It is a dispute that now threatens their existence.
One side may say there's not enough forage allocated for the livestock that are permitted. The other side says there's not enough forage permitted for the amount of wild horses that a person would like to see out there.
When they're not held to the levels that they're supposed to be, they abuse the resource, and there's no one accountable.
It's very controversial and very political.
They just haven't seen the damage caused by the horses, or else they close a blind eye to it and blame it on the cattle. They need to get the hell out there and see where those horses just beat the turf into powder this deep.
The ancestors of America's wild horses were abandoned or lost by Spanish settlers and Native Americans. Their populations multiplied when domestic horses were set free by farmers and ranchers who no longer had use for them, setting the stage for a heated battle over their right to exist on public lands.
The wild horse is a misnomer. The primary source of these horses are horses that have been turned out from ranchers that no longer had need for them.
By the 1930s, American wild horses numbered nearly 2 million. But cattle ranchers, who saw the horses as nuisance competition for forage, routinely set out to capture and destroy the offending herds.
You'd have 6 or 7 men in the back of a truck, and they'd be racing alongside these horses and roping them, and the horse would fight until it was out of wind and it would just collapse.
In response to public pressure, Congress stepped up and gave wild horses protected status in 1971. The Bureau of Land Management was burdened with the responsibility of enforcing the new policy.
BLM was actually trying to eliminate horses from the ranges themselves as a federal agency. So 1971, here you are trying to eliminate them, now all of a sudden you're protecting them. About every 3 or 4 years you have to be going in and removing numbers to keep it within an appropriate management level so they don't overgraze the area, so that they are in balance with the other uses out there. We set up a ground trap, and the helicopter brings the herd of wild horses, pushes them in through the wings into a trap made up of metal portable panels. We close the gate on them and they're captured.
Once in BLM custody, captured animals are sent to short-term holding facilities where they are vaccinated and branded in preparation for adoption.
It's very expensive to keep horses in that sort of setting.
Horses are transported to temporary adoption sites across the country where they are auctioned off to the public. The usual starting bid is $125. More than 6,000 animals are adopted each year, though many adopters have no experience with wild horses.
A very high percentage of the people that adopt Mustangs are first-time horse owners.
People go to these auctions and they see these Mustangs in these pens and they look fairly docile. You get them home and they turn into something totally different.
These horses are very workable, they're very doable, but the wild horses are not like domestic horses. And as many good domestic horse trainers that are out there, a lot of them don't understand the wild horse.
People buy these horses based on color. I like that one, he's pretty. Well, yeah, he's pretty, but he'll also kick your head off if you push him.
So many people were getting these horses home and trying methods and approaches that were kind of stereotypical for the time, but were not applicable to wild horses, and they were having one heck of a time.
Today, at national and local workshops, professional trainers donate their time, teaching the skills new adopters will need to be successful.
You go in, you go out, you're moving.
Their instinct is to either take flight or to fight. They're wild, that's their nature. But you do everything you can to keep the flight instinct very low by your positioning, the way you handle your body movements, etc. And you try not to get these horses in a position to take a fight instinct.
First thing Frank will want to do is get that horse to stand long enough for him to lay the pole on it.
You are the one that's initiating the touch, but they don't feel threatened because you're 12 feet away or thereabouts.
Get your hands on them, and you start massaging them, and you've kind of made a buddy with that horse.
Being a human, sometimes you want to cut corners, and I'm just going to come right in there and overpower you, and I am going to ride you, and we are going to do this. And it didn't work, and I'd get kicked and sitting on a round pen, and somebody go, that was an awfully silly thing you did. And I have some Navajo friends, and we got to talking about some traditional ways to do this. Let's stop her and touch just for a second. And then I give her a reward and say, that's really all I wanted to do to you.
Advocacy groups, cattle ranchers, and politicians are now scrambling to find common ground before a symbol of America's heritage is permanently sacrificed.
Hey, this is not livestock we're talking about. I'm sorry.
They represent a freedom to us, of freedoms that we are losing daily. Maybe this will focus us all on one group, because if we don't, these horses are definitely gone.